also, Craig mentioned the budgetary conditions when I came into office in early 2003. In fact, that budget shortfall was and remains the largest shortfall as a percentage of the overall budget in our state's history. The numbers may not have risen to some of the recent shortfalls, but in terms of the percentage of the overall budget, it was the largest in our state's history. That's no easy task, but it can be done. Budgeting is not rocket science. We just have to be reasonable. We have to come together. We have to put partisanship and partisan philosophies aside and do what's right for the people of Oklahoma, and especially the most vulnerable Oklahomans. And that's what Representative Osmond was talking about in her debate, and I appreciate it. While I understand the challenges that we face, I also know that through the work of the Early Childhood Coalition, your work, we can address those challenges. We can address them head on, and we can make a real difference. I've seen the science. I've seen the economic research. The science very clearly tells us that most children's brains are hardwired by the time they're 3 years old. That means that through the appropriate nurture, stimulation, and investment, we can make a real difference. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but 5, 10, 15 years down the line, we can make a tremendous difference. That investment in quality early childhood programs can mean the difference in whether a child succeeds in school, or graduates from high school, or goes to college, or avoids a life of poverty or crime or even prison. That's what's at stake here. That's the difference that each of you, working together in this partnership between the private sector and the public sector and the nonprofit sector, are making. It's clear. I'm not telling you guys anything you don't already know, but the economic data is very clear too. For every dollar that we invest in quality early childhood programs, we yield a return on that investment of $7 to $10. I mean, that's a return of 7 to 10 times our investment. It's a great investment. But it also changes lives. It changes families. It builds a better Oklahoma. If we want to raise the quality of life in our state, which we all do, we have to start with our youngest citizens. The Oklahoma Early Childhood Coalition, which, as I mentioned, began just a year and a half ago, brings together the public, private, and nonprofit sectors through an effort that I call convene, collaborate, and consensus. You convene these key stakeholders, you all collaborate, and you build consensus. You build and strengthen public-private partnerships, which is one of the most efficient ways to address the challenges that we have. You're going to hear about some of the challenges here in just a little bit, but just know that through your work, we are making a difference. We have had successes, and we will, by the year 2025, bring Oklahoma's statistics up into the top half of all of the states through the implementation of strategies that we know work. We have the science. We know they make a real difference. Your work is critically important. I applaud you. We must give all children the opportunity to develop their full potential. Thank you. Have a great meeting.